Hello and welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about if the direction of my life has changed or been affected since being diagnosed with EDS. And I would have to say it has. But unlike many people who their direction in life changed for the negative, I feel in many ways mine changed for the positive. Years ago, about 4 years ago, I had to quit working as a massage therapist. I would have random pain and would never know when I'd be able to do it. Then after a while, a number of years later, so it's been about a year and a half, 2 years ago now, or a year and a half ago, I started getting really lethargic. I could tell my blood sugars were struggling. I'd had hypoglycemia for years. Blood sugars were really struggling and I couldn't keep them up. And it got to the point I was only sleeping or being awake for an hour or two a day. All the rest of the time I was sleeping, and that was all I could manage. I could not do anything else. It was, no matter what I tried, the doctor was trying to find an answer to what was going on and the works. Well, then we were diagnosed with EDS. And finally we had a reason as to what was happening. I was able to get with a internist. I'd tried a GI. I had already been referred to a GI before this happened. And the GI went, I have no clue about EDS, and he actually said he had no clue about blood sugar numbers either, which was really strange. My primary care had started me on a continuous glucose monitor, and the GI didn't even want to look at it. He had no clue what it was all about and had nothing to do with him. Before that, we'd tried an endocrinologist who had no clue what was going on either. So I went with an internist because they cover both and would figure out what was going on. But I also, by this point, knew that I had EDS. And I found someone who understood the issues with EDS. And he agreed to try me on Zenpep. And it was a life changer. My energy levels came up, my blood sugar levels evened out. In fact, I had, within a month, was doing better than I had since I was a teenager, which I felt was huge. That, I will be honest, was over 20 years ago. So I was doing better than I had for over 20 years, blood sugar wise, and then I had to recover everything I had lost. Well, because of the understanding of EDS, and as I learned more, I eventually started into physical therapy. Luckily, I have great insurance. And so I started physical therapy. And I'm at the point where I'm able to look at maybe working full-time again, which would be great for my family. I'm actually starting to do some looking for things like that. Thank you to Voc Rehab. They've been helping pay for some of the PT and things like, and help me look for a job in the career that I wanted to do before my health started declining. So for me, the diagnosis has actually put me back on a path I thought I would have to give up. I probably will never be able to do massage again, but the knowledge is still there. And that will be helpful in the future in the career I'm going into. So I think that EDS has a positive direction, not just a negative. A lot of people they have those symptoms and they don't know why, and they may suffer their whole life searching for answers. Whereas getting the diagnosis can actually turn your life in a positive direction, because you can get treatment for those things to help improve your life and to prevent future declines. So, because EDS, you may have it, you'll always have it your whole life. So there's not, I At this point, I had EDS and I didn't before. So that's something to keep in mind, and that the diagnosis can actually be beneficial because then you can find out how to treat. Once you know how to treat, you have hope of progress. That's at least been my experience with me and also with my kids. Thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next video.